Another beautiful wisdom walk here today, and today we're going to be talking about prosperity. So how can we prosper as a collective? It's so good to be with you again. I'm so excited to be outside. We've got this beautiful weather happening, and it's just it's magical. It's like an extension of summer, and for us Canadians, that's a good thing. I want to talk to you about prosperity today because it's something that I've been learning in my course. I'm in a doctorate for metaphysics and spirituality right now, and the topic of prosperity is coming up. And I think most of us have issues around abundance, around money. I actually have not met anyone who doesn't have had some sort of block or has a current block around money and prosperity. And so I wanted to just share a couple things, hopefully some pieces that will help you to lean into your prosperous life. The first thing is defining what prosperity means, because wealth is not just money. Wealth is a whole bunch of things, isn't it? And so really defining, what does it mean to prosper? What does it mean to have wealth? I think is a really important piece to really get clear on in terms of being able to manifest it. And so when I think about prosperity, prosperity is having abundance in all the things that I desire in my life. So maybe that's health, maybe that's money, maybe that's quality relationship with self and others. So again, just allowing yourself to sink into, well, what does that really mean for me? So once you have that, then there's an opportunity to look at, well, is prosperity outside of myself? Perhaps prosperity is not found outside of ourselves. Perhaps it is found in us. And so then it becomes a redefinition of prosperity being a state of mind and a state of soul. And in doing so, what happens is we move into this place where we start to recognize that we have everything we need. And some of you have maybe heard me say this before. In every given moment, you have everything you need and then some. So we're already prosperous, but yet we tend to get wrapped up in the lack. So first of all, I want to invite you to come into a place when you recognize there's maybe a belief or perception of lack. So let's talk about that for 1 second, because this is important. If I'm feeling like I'm getting a lack of love, or maybe I have a lack of courage about something, or maybe I have a lack of money perception, there is an opportunity for me to actually pour whatever it is that I feel I am lacking into somebody else. So what I mean by that is, if I'm feeling a lack of love, then I find someone to give more love to. I become the love. If I'm feeling a lack of money, or if I'm feeling I'm getting really attached to my money, I will give away money. If I'm feeling a lack of courage, I will give somebody else encouragement and invite them to be courageous. And so I try to become or to give whatever that is that I am lacking. And in doing so, guess what happens? The universe rewards us. It starts to give back to us. And all of a sudden, we recognize that, again, we have everything that we need within us. The other piece I want to invite you to consider is the idea of continual expectancy. And so in the past, I've talked about like expectations leading to disappointment. Continual expectancy is not about expectation as it relates to what we typically think it means. Continual expectancy is knowing that the universe is always providing us with exactly what we need and then some. Always. it always has our back. Even when we perceive it to not have our back, it's got our back. And so the invitation is to know that there is this energy of continual expectancy, that the universe is always pouring into me and giving me precisely what it is that I need. This energy of continual expectancy can change the game. All right? So a couple of key things that you might want to consider. One is that God, universe, creator, is the source of your abundance, wealth, and prosperity. It doesn't come from anything else. It doesn't come from the bank. It doesn't come from the client or whomever it might be coming from. It actually comes from source. And so moving ourselves into that space can also help us to shift. But there might be a couple things that you can try that will help you to move into the space of receiving that prosperity energy. And one of those things is inviting you to surround yourself with people that are in a position where they are already in abundance, where they see the abundance that's there or prosperity that's there. And so this might be hanging out with people that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. This might mean allowing yourself to go into establishments that maybe are typically out of your budget, but maybe going in there and assuming the role that you are already in a place of being able to afford a position like that. I know for me, I've gone into different restaurants that are kind of hoity-toity and I get a little bit like, oh, I'm not like these people. But I've realized that that's my own ego coming into play. And when I sit in this area of prosperity or these places of great prosperity, something really interesting happens. I begin to vibrate at a different frequency, and oftentimes money shows up for me in that experience as well. So that's something that you might want to consider. Hanging out with the people that are where you want to go, right? Remember, you're the sum of the people that you surround yourself with. So that might be something to consider. The next piece of this, in terms of allowing yourself to come into a state of prosperity, it's about vibrating at that frequency. So it is tied to the continual expectancy I just spoke about, but it's actually allowing yourself to embody that which you wish to, that which you desire. Okay, so for example, if I desire a new car, I'm going to vibrate at the frequency in which I already own the car. I'm going to allow myself to imagine myself in the driver's seat, imagine seeing myself driving it. I'm going to allow that piece of embodiment so that I can be vibrating at that level in which I've already received it. So even if I'm getting into my old vehicle, I can pretend and I can use my imagination to embody that energy. So these are just a few things to play with, a few things to consider as you continue on your incredible journey and really tap into the energy of prosperity. So off you go. Be prosperous, dear ones. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. And thanks for being here again on Wisdom Walks. Bye for now.